Know them by the end of the night.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to start with an old fiddle and banjo tune that comes from a Kentucky fiddler named Estill Bingham, and it's called Old Aunt Jenny with Her Nightcap On. I don't know where that title comes from, but I guess old Aunt Jenny was fond of the pajamas there. So here we go. In G, right? Yep. Okay. Thank you so much. So we learn tunes like that going to places like Cowan Creek down in Letcher County. The Cowan Creek Mountain Music School is a great event where musicians from all over the country get together, but especially musicians from Eastern Kentucky, and share old tunes like that. Learn them any time of the day or night down there. People will be sharing that kind of music. So.
Yeah, and also we actually kind of got to know each other through the Hindman Settlement School, which is in Knott County, Kentucky. So I learned that tune there from a Kentucky fiddler named Ron Penn, who I think knew Estill Bingham. And
really? Wow.
yeah, he's taught me several of his tunes. But it's really cool how traditional music is passed down, knowing that you learned it from someone who is like 1 degree of separation away from the originator of the tune is really cool. So
Yeah, it is. Well, speaking of old-time fiddlers, I'm really lucky to live in Berea, and there are a bunch of great old-time musicians around, and one of them is Lewis Lamb, who's a fiddle player from out in Paint Lick, grew up on a tobacco farm out there, and his daughter Donna is one of my favorite singers in the world, and Donna is also a luthier. She builds stringed instruments, and she's won awards, state awards and things. Both of Donna and Lewis have. But she is an amazing singer in the old mountain style, and this is a song that she sings a lot. I learned it from her. It's called Dream of a Miner's Child. A miner was leaving his home for his work when he heard his little child scream. He came to the side of the little girl's bed. Oh, Daddy, I've had such a dream. Oh, Daddy, don't go to the mines today, for dreams have so often come true. Oh, Daddy, dear Daddy, please don't go away, for I never could live without you. I dreamed that the mines was all blazing with fire, and the workers all fought for their lives. And then the scene changed, and the mouth of the mine was covered with sweethearts and wives. Oh, Daddy, don't go to the mines today, for dreams have so often come true. Oh, Daddy, dear Daddy, please don't go away. I never could live without you. Go down to the village and tell all your friends, as sure as the bright stars do shine, there's something that's going to happen today. Oh, Daddy, don't go to that mine. Oh, Daddy, don't go to the mines today, for dreams have so often come true. Oh, Daddy, dear Daddy, please don't go away. I never could live without you. Yes, I never could live without you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right. So Larah has got a good one for us.
Yeah, so this tune is called Banjo Pickin' Girl. I first heard it, actually, our mutual friend Sue Massick played it. And she plays, the original version of this, or the oldest version, is by the Coon Creek Girls, which were natives of Powell County, actually, so not far from here at all. But I first learned it from Sue, who learned it from Sarah Ogan Gunning. And Sarah's lyrics are a little bit more spicy, a little bit more radical. She was a big labor and union organizer, and so she wrote these lyrics to go with that. So this is Banjo Pickin' Girl.
Can I hear your chord? Close enough.
Good enough. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, and you're going to be surprised. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize all the minds, children, and wives. I'm compelled to save their lives, baby, mine. I love the Union men, baby, mine. I love the Union men, baby, mine. I love the Union men, I'm compelled to save their lives. I love the Union men, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, baby, mine. I'm going to organize, and you're going to be surprised. I'm going to organize, baby, mine.
Nice. So, since Jeanette said this would be for elementary schoolers, I just wanted to tell you something fun that you can do with that song. So, when I learned it, the old lyrics are, oh, I'm going to North Carolina, baby mine. I'm going to North Carolina, baby mine. I'm going to North Carolina, and from there on to China. I'm going to North Carolina, baby mine. It's about going around the world, right? So all you have to do is think of two places that rhyme, and you can make up your own verses to that song, right? And I've had so much fun with elementary schoolers hearing the places that they wanted to, like, I'm going to Beaver Creek, with tobacco in my cheek, or whatever you want to say. You can make up any kind of fun words to the song. I'm going around this world, baby mine. I'm going around this world, baby mine. I'm going around this world with a banjo picking girl. I'm going around this world, baby mine. And we've made fun of all kinds of places in the world using that song. So I think that's a great thing to do, to make up new words to a tune that you know, especially when you're getting started with learning music when you're a kid. So just wanted to say that for the kids that may see this one day. So let me see. We spoke about Lily Mae Ledford, who I never met. Lily Mae probably died before I was born, but she left behind this wealth of fiddle and banjo music and songs. And the Coon Creek Girls were the first all-woman string band that performed on radio in the U.S. And so they made a big splash, and Lily Mae performed for most of her life. And it just so happens that so many of the great banjo players from Kentucky were women, like Cousin Emmy and Dora Mae Wagers and Blanche Coldiron and Sue Massick, and we can think of so many others. But I'll play you a Lily Mae Ledford tune here. This is called Texas Bound, and I'd love for you to help us sing it if you want to. Just join right in. So the refrain is, I'm Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. That's all there is to it. You want to try it? I'm Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. I went down to the river with an ocean to drown. Saw a red-headed woman and I couldn't go down. Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. On an old gray mule, I'm Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. I got the hesitating socks, got the hesitating shoes. Look for a woman, got the hesitating blues. I'm Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. If the ocean was whiskey and I was a duck, I'd dive to the bottom and I'd never come up. I'm Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. Texas bound, 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 Texas bound, bound, bound. Good Lord, I'm Texas bound. All right. Yeah. Lily Mae always said, my spirits mount as I play. Somebody asked her why her banjo playing was so good, and she said, my spirits mount as I play. So try to do that.
So I guess I can talk a little bit about kind of banjo styles for a second. So what Sam was just doing is called clawhammer or overhand banjo, and that's kind of like the oldest style of banjo playing, I guess. What I'm about to do is some two-finger picking. So this is a style that I learned in southeastern Kentucky from people like Lee Sexton and John Haywood. And actually my career and my passion as a traditional artist literally started in this room, so this is really cool for me. I saw the local Honeys here, who are a wonderful female old-time duo from Lexington, Versailles area, and that's when I decided that I wanted to pick up a banjo, and now here we are. So I've had the privilege of learning from a lot of different people, but this song, I'm going to start with an original and then go into a traditional song. So the first one is an original that I wrote called Story Song. And then following that, I'm going to be doing Hills of Mexico, which is a traditional tune by Roscoe Holcomb, who is my favorite banjo player of all time. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoy it. I've been carrying this weight so long, I've forgotten what it is to feel free. It's facts I know about my life, but they don't add up to me. No, they don't add up to me. Will my story be my own? Will my story be my own? Will my story be my own? If I let it be, oh, if I let it be, like I'm reading from a script. When you ask me about the ones I've lost, but the guilt of moving on is heavy when forgetting is the cost. Guilt is heavy when forgetting is the cost. Will my story be my own? Will my story be my own? Will my story be my own? If I let it be, oh, if I let it be. Brokenness can make you strong, and survival doesn't make you weak. Just believe you can live well, and your story's still in the writing. Yes, your story is still in the writing. Now my story is my own. Yes, my story is my own. My story's always been my own. It's time to let it be. Oh, it's time to let it be. Oh, when I was in Old Fort Worth in 1883, some old Mexican cowboy come stepping up to me. He said, "How are you, young fellow? How would you like to go and spend a season working in the hills of Mexico?" Well, I had no employment, and back to him did say, "'Tis according to your wages, 'tis according to your pay." Said, "I'll pay you good wages, and often do you know, if you'll spend a season working in the hills of Mexico." Well, they sail along that old steamboat, and back home I did go. How those bells they did ring, the whistles they did blow. I'll go back to friends and loved ones, and I'll tell them not to go to that God-forsaken country in the hills of Mexico.
Beautiful. So, did you tell them about Hills of Mexico?
No.
Okay.
I talked a little bit about Roscoe.
Yeah.
But do you know like the background of the song?
I don't. I would love for you to share it.
I don't really. I don't really know it. Here's what I know. Let me tell you what I know. I heard Montana Hobbs play it with the local honeys, and I was like, I'm gonna play banjo, and that song was my deciding factor, and so I learned it. I know that Roscoe first recorded it in his film with John Cohen, which Josh Spencer, who's here, first showed me. But I know that it's about like migrant workers, but
Right.
other than that, I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's helpful for folks that aren't used to listening to a story like that. But
Sure.
I love how you told part of your life story in your first song, and in that old tuning, that sounds so ancient, but your story is the present. It's right now,
Yeah.
and then played that old song. I just think that's a great example of how this traditional music works. So, on that note, I always like to say, if we're doing a program that's going to be recorded for students, I always like to remind people that the banjo came from Africa originally. So, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, when people were brought from Africa to this country as slaves by force, they remembered how to make the instruments from West Africa that were like the banjo. So, ngoni, akanting, all kinds of instruments that were made. The pot would have been made of a gourd, and then the strings would have been made of animal gut, and the neck would have been wooden, right? So over hundreds of years, on plantations and things, white folks heard black Americans playing the banjo and were fascinated by the sound, right? So they started manufacturing them around the time of the Civil War or right before. And so the instrument that we know today, having steel strings and a metal pot and a plastic head is pretty different. But it's still like a drum, part rhythm instrument and a part stringed instrument. So it's percussion and a string. So the clawhammer banjo motion, if you go to West Africa today, you can see people playing something that looks a lot like the clawhammer motion on those old instruments. So it's amazing how things change and adapt over time. This is an African-American song, Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. You know that one? Yeah, okay, well help me sing it on the chorus. So join in. This is a song that was used a lot in the civil rights movement. It's an African-American spiritual called Keep Your Eyes on the Prize, Hold On. So join in on the chorus. Here's the chorus. Hold on, keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Yeah, and we can do it echo too. Like I'll say hold on and you repeat. So hold on, hold on, keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Paul and Silas were bound in jail, had no money for to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on, hold on, keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Paul and Silas began to shout, the jail broke open and they walked out. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Thing that we did wrong, stayed in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only thing that we did right, the day we begun to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only chain that we can stand is the chain of hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Got my hand on the freedom plow, wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. One more time. Hold on, keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. All right. That's another song that's been changed, you know, as people needed to express different things through the lyrics, they did. Like I was at the Highlander Center in East Tennessee once, and Candy Carowan, a great singer who sang a lot in the civil rights movement, she said in one of those verses, she changed it slightly and said, the only thing that we did right was begin to fight for our equal rights. You know, so they would make little changes like that to the lyrics that made the song very useful. So. Oh, no, you go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So this song is an original, and it's called Roots. So if you're from Mount Sterling and you know me, you've probably heard this like a million times. But I wrote this when I was 16 years old, and growing up in Appalachia is hard. Like it just is. You know, there's a lot against you from the beginning. And this song kind of came out of the time in my life when I was first getting into traditional music and first really discovering like, oh, like home isn't just a place worth leaving, it's a place worth fighting for. And it's somewhere that no matter how much it's hurt me, it's always gonna be here to like have my back when I come back. So yeah, so this is called Roots. Roots can't crown unless the seed is sown. And trees without a foundation can't grow. And though the soil of my heart has been cold, these Kentucky mountain songs have found their home. Can't know where you're going till you know where you're from. Can't sing a symphony until you learn how to hum. Can't dream of being awake dreaming till you leave the past behind. Can't claim myself till I know what is mine. My roots are found at the bottom of the Appalachians. They've been sown in cold and watered by a bottle of bourbon. I can't cut them off when I am just now learning my roots are made to grow into this bluegrass I call home. I'm no exotic palm tree, more like watching a cardinal in a tulip bottler on your front porch, sipping sweet tea. But there is nothing ordinary about small town grace and basement hangs and being known so well it's scary. My roots are found at the bottom of the Appalachians. They've been sown in cold and watered by a bottle of bourbon. I can't cut them off when I am just now learning my roots were made to grow into this bluegrass I call home. La-di-da-di-da-da-da-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-da-da-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-da-da-da. Is this too good to be true? La-di-da-di-da-di-da-da-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-da-da, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-da-da. Look at all these folks who believe in you. My roots are found at the bottom of the Appalachians. They've been sown in cold and watered by a bottle of bourbon. I can't cut them off when I am just now learning my roots were made to grow. My roots were made to grow into this bluegrass I call home.
All right. I get so emotional when I hear you sing that song, Larah. It's so beautiful. And what a good thing, to write about our lives here, and the simple things like sitting on a porch and seeing a beautiful tulip poplar. And I wouldn't trade those things for the world. So it's really nice to hear you sing.
Yeah, absolutely. And fun fact, tulip poplar is our state tree. Cardinal is our state bird. So that's why that's in the second verse, because obviously it's about Kentucky. So, yeah. And then the line Small Town Grace is stolen from a Josh Nolan song, who's doing our sound today.
Yes, thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
We really appreciate him doing the
Yeah,
recording
thank you.
tonight. Yes. Well, I got to talk to my grandmother today, and her sister is my Aunt Sis. Does anyone else have an Aunt Sis here, or someone in their family that's called Sister? Yeah. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah. So, my Aunt Sis, her name is Corrine Elizabeth Allison Thompson, and she's a very fierce woman, and I love her very much. She's a matriarch in our family, and she was called Sister because she was the oldest girl. She kind of was in charge of everything, growing up. And so I got to talk with her a couple years ago and record her telling stories about what it was like growing up in Wythe County, Virginia, which is where I grew up. And she said it was more or less called Possum Holler where I grew up, and she talked about a very different life than what I knew. You know, she grew up, there was no electricity and there was no running water, and they lived on a farm. They helped their neighbors all the time with chores and things that had to be done, and she was at her grandmother's side all the time. So just think of all the stories, you know, that she absorbed being with her grandmother, and my Aunt Sis is 88 now. So I'm so lucky to have her in my life. But I recorded some of her telling about what it was like going to church and helping their neighbors and having Saturday night dances and things like that when she was growing up. And I just wrote down her words and arranged them a little bit and put them in this song. So it's called Stockyard Hill, which is the area of Wytheville, Virginia, where her family lived when they moved to town. And I love playing in this area because I don't have to tell you that a branch is a little stream, right? Or when I travel to other places and perform, sometimes I have to explain, oh, a branch is a little creek or part of a stream, and flat footing is a dance, you know, or like what's another one in this song? Dinner on the ground. You have to explain what dinner on the ground is. It's not just dinner on the floor, it's dinner outside, you know, all kinds of things like that. In an old farmhouse way back in the cove, I'd listen, she'd remember. They named me Corrine, but I was the oldest. Everybody called me sister. We raised what we ate, there's work to be done. Where Daddy went, I'd follow. Between the kitchen and the branch, the fields and the barn, I learned the most of what I know. I'm proud of the way that I came up. Nothing comes closer than that love. There's a little bit left of what used to be, and these memories won't be leaving with me. On Saturday night, Stockyard Hill, Mama's people would all get together. Generations just picking and singing, didn't know one note from the other. And Charlie would lay that banjo down when he'd get happy with playing. And he'd flat foot all over that room, rattle the dishes in the kitchen. I'm proud of the way that I came up, and nothing comes closer than that love. There's a little bit left of what used to be, and these memories won't be leaving with me. On Sunday morning we were ready for church, 80 years and I'm still going. Precious memories and dinner on the ground, and the Lord was there, I know it. Now I've seen trouble and times are hard, still I'm traveling along. Why, I could have church in my own backyard and get my sermon from a song. I'm proud of the way that I came up, and nothing comes closer than that love. Oh, how I miss it still to this day, but it comes right back every time you play.
That was lovely, Sam. I always love it when you play that song. So one of the first times that I met Sam, we were at the Lexington Old Time Gathering in Lexington, Kentucky, and he was doing a workshop on protest songs. And I was like 16. I think I had just gotten my license, and I was immediately just enamored because I had never thought that protest songs and folk music were something that could really go together, and then I quickly realized that they always have, and they always will. So this song is an original, and it's called Simple Southern Life, and it's kind of just about my experiences of growing up as a queer person in Appalachia. And Sam is one of the first people that I ever met who really encouraged me to write about that experience, and who kind of through your music gave me permission to do the same. So happy Pride Month, and this one's called Simple Southern Life. I was raised at this country store, talking with my grandpa's friends just about being poor, eating biscuits and gravy when they ask how is school. Have you found yourself a boy yet? I just play it cool, 'cause there's so much they don't know about me, and there's so much I'm so used to hiding. I want my simple southern life, bluegrass picking on a Friday night, hot coffee on a Sunday morn. No, I won't ask for more, except a beautiful one to hold me close, 'cause boys just on my side. I found the freedom to love and be myself while I live a simple southern life. It's hard to find belonging when real love sets you apart. Wouldn't change how I was brought up, but I can't change my heart. I've known since I was young that I am not the same. Same folks who taught me to love are the ones who taught me shame. 'Cause there's so much they wish they didn't know about me, and there's so many truths they can't stop denying about this simple southern life. Football games on a Friday night, hot fire in a winter storm. No, I won't ask for more, except a beautiful one to hold me close, 'cause boys just on my side. I found the freedom to love and be myself while I live a simple southern life. It's my life. Bust down that closet door, I can't hide anymore. I never meant to hurt you, but it's been killing me. This weight upon my shoulders, I'm finally free to live my simple southern life. Make love to them every single night, sharing coffee on a Sunday morning. No, I won't ask for more. Found a beautiful one to hold me close. Those boys just on my side. Found the freedom to love and be myself while I live simple southern life. Ooh, it's my life. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Courageous. Larah, that's what I'm talking about. That's good stuff. So, I will sing one more, and then maybe we can take some questions or something. Yeah. I did. Yeah, I was an apprentice with Lewis Lamb in Garrett County. Uh huh. Yes.
And
Yeah.
I just applied for that program, for the apprenticeship program. Yeah. So
Yes.
hopefully I find out this month. But I applied to do an apprenticeship with our friend Sue Masick to do a banjo and protest song apprenticeship under her. So yeah,
That would be great.
we love the Kentucky Arts Council.
I sure do, and we both do, because we're lucky to have a great arts council here in Kentucky because they do so much in the public schools and in public spaces like this to keep the arts alive. So really appreciate all those good people at the Kentucky Arts Council. So I'm going to sing one that is about a very brave response that someone made to bullying that they faced. So this coal miner, his name was Sam Williams, and he was from southern West Virginia. He was an underground coal miner. And I read his story in 2011 because he had been discriminated against by his fellow workers. He had been threatened, and they had done some vandalism to his truck and his dinner bucket and other things because he was openly gay and he lived with his partner there in the community. And his response was to report them to his supervisor, and they would just move him to another mine, and it always happened again wherever he went. So he stood up and became involved with the West Virginia Fairness Coalition in an effort to get laws passed to protect all workers. And those kind of laws protect everyone. They don't just protect LGBT people. They protect all workers because anyone can be perceived to be gay or, rumors or whatever. These things shouldn't affect our jobs. So that's what Sam Williams stood up about. And he spoke at the state capitol and did a number of public appearances about his story. And he's a real Appalachian hero. So this is part of his story in a song. It's called Aint We Brothers. I wrote it, and it's funny because sometimes my name is Sam also, and so sometimes people will call me or write me and say, "You were a coal miner?" And I say, "No, I actually wasn't." I actually wasn't, but yeah, so anyhow, this is about Sam Williams from southern West Virginia, but I did write the song. I was born here just the same as you. Another time, another day. I'm sure the good Lord took his time, made each of us just this way. I'll walk beside you step by step, and it never crossed my mind that I would grow up one of the different kind. And that didn't stop me from chopping the wood, scraping my knees like all boys should, going down to the creek in the noonday sun, wringing out my shirt when the work got done. First things first, I'm a blue-collar man with scars on my knuckles, dust on my hands. You probably wouldn't have ever known I've got a man waiting on me at home. Tell you the truth, I don't want to fight. Just want to say one thing outright to you. Ain't we flesh and blood all through? And ain't we brothers too? I took a job and worked right by you, walked down in that hole beside you, Thought I heard some whisper sound. Got found out, word got around. I got made out for something I'm not. Called everything but a child of God. Didn't mind to show it out in the parking lot. So I cut my coat with my head hung down, just like a stranger in my own town. I got bitter day by day, went home every night with the mess they made. First things first, I'm a blue-collar man with scars on my knuckles, dust on my hands. You probably wouldn't have ever known I've got a man waiting on me at home. To tell you the truth, I don't want to fight. Just want to say one thing outright to you. Ain't we flesh and blood all through? And ain't we brothers too? Tell me I'm not man enough to set foot in that mine. Go on and tell me that once more, to my face this time. To tell you the truth, I don't want to fight. I just want to say one thing outright to you. Ain't we flesh and blood all through? And ain't we brothers too? Thank you, Larah Helayne. All right.
Gleaves.
All right. Yeah, so we'd love to talk with you. Jeanette suggested we do the question and answer, so please feel free to talk with us. And they're not even going to record it, so.